Aloha, sisters. It's Wednesday, and I missed my MoonDay musing on Monday because I was on a flight back from Maui in an epic adventure, which I'm going to share a little bit about with you here now today, why I'm inspired. I couldn't wait a whole other week to go by to share this with you because it was so profound and magical and amazing. And since I specialize in magic and amazing, I wanted to share it with all of you. Oh my God. Okay, so the conversation, if you've been following any of these threads, there's two major conversations happening right now. One is I'm stepping into my first ever leading a course teaching you all about the power of Amrita and what I know in order to create that in your life. That's coming up on May 14th. I'll post the link below here. And I've been envisioning a world completely transformed by the power of female ejaculation. And it's been shown to me very specifically through the service that I provide with my Pussy Oracle readings and the sacred reclamation rituals that I offer, and all sorts of really profound new world knowing and visions have been shown to me over the last several years, and more particularly since I've stepped into my service as a Pussy Oracle. And so much of my videos have been about that, have been about the rituals that I've been creating using female ejaculation fluids and the visions I've been having around, reconsecrating our financial systems and our money and our relationship to money and how we manifest things. And oh my gosh, it's working! It's working! All I have to say is it's working. So last week, 2 weeks ago, I had a trip planned. I just experienced this 10-day Vipassana silent meditation retreat, which is like a Vipassana, if any of you've ever heard of Vipassana, but it's all based in body. So where Vipassana is a meditation technique that has you scan your body and become uber aware of your somatic responses so that we can move the mind aside, which is riddled with story. It's almost like an operating system that's been filled with viruses that we're still trying to actually make sense of in the world. And whereas the body is like a brand new, clean and pure, not connected to an operating system of the mind that allows us to actually be more true to knowing what it is that's going on for us, where then the mind and the ego wants to grab at these things and block it and take it away. So that's like the whole, sense of what's happening in the body. But this retreat was all about developing the skills both through the Vipassana meditation technique and through all this other somatically aware meditations that he brought forth, and yin yoga and moving my body and meditating and using chi machines to move my energy and laying on the beaches of this beautiful sanctuary in Maui and just being silent and with myself. I mean, can you imagine? Like, it was so profound. It was the most profound experience I've actually ever had in my entire life, even beyond Burning Man, even beyond Vipassana, which I did 2 years ago. It was the most profound experience I've ever had, because I have not been aware of my body to this level ever before, and what's possible within my body, and what's possible within my body in relationship to the service that I'm here to provide for Pussy Awakening. It's all very tied together. So I had planned to go to this thing. I knew I was going to be 10 days away, and then following that I was going to go to this Earth Nation Mastermind. Now Earth Nation, I'll post links, I'll post all the links to everything below here. Earth Nation is an organization that has pretty much solved, I believe, some of the systemic issues that we have in realms of money, currency, voting system, community building, sustainable culture, sustainable growing, all of the beautiful ways that we see and want the earth to move towards. Earth Nation has systems and solutions for that. And it's pretty profound. And we're going to partner with them now. We've actually invested to partner with them to bring it into the things that we're doing over here, the creation of Eden, which Rano and I have been, which is a couples community that we're cultivating and growing, and so on and so forth. So that was my plan to go to this trip. Right before I left, I decided that after long time of denying the request to teach about female power, female ejaculations, I made the choice to actually create my first class ever. And it was, I think I shared in a previous video, it was tied in with a past life regression session that I did that awakened me to deeper confidence in what I've been shown and knowing, and to actually bring that forward. Because up until now, I felt a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy, a little bit, woo-woo in my approach, because my approach is not sexual in nature. It's very sacred in nature, and there's a big difference, which I'll explain more. I think I'm going to do a free intro class sometime in the next week, so stay tuned for that. I got to pick a date. So anyway, so I make my big yes. I step more fully into commitment to my body. We had a little financial upset that happened right before, of course. So all this stuff was swirling and churling. We arrive in Hawaii. We stay at this house of this couple that we got introduced to that we didn't know, but through the Earth Nation Mastermind community. We stayed at their house, which was the house we were going to stay at after the Vipassana at the Mastermind, for the Mastermind. So we stayed there 2 days before the Vipassana. I'm literally like working on emails to try to get emails written and scheduled, because I'm going to be silent and away from my technology for 10 days in the middle of, open registration for this new class I'm teaching, which is perfect. It's so perfect to launch something and then let it go and not obsess over it, which I've been known to do in the past, and over market it and get too much out of my essence and into the computer. So a pattern that I've been breaking for many, many years. And I land at this house, and turns out the guy whose house it is, he runs a company called Live Water, and it's a spring water delivery service company. And so he's a water bearer, right? And I meet his girlfriend, Dakota. Her name's Dakota Chanel, and I deeply wanted to do a Facebook Live with her when I was there, and we just didn't have the space or the time or the energy. It just didn't work out. So I'm gonna bring her in and bring her on at some point, because she's also, I come to find out, there I am working away the day before we leave to go to this Vipassana, and I'm like, trying to get all this content pre-scheduled, and Ronald's like, no, you got to come out here and talk to Dakota. And I connected with her a little bit, but I didn't really know what she did or anything else. He's like, no, Sierra, you got to come out here. And I'm like, I need to write this email. He's like, no, you need to come out here. So I come out there, and she shows me her website, which is dakotachanel.com, and she's a total water priestess, like super water priestess. And I start sharing about my class and what I was doing. She was like, oh my gosh, I've been seeing this. I believe the same things, the things that I've been shown about Amrita, saving the earth, and the sacredness of the sacred waters of women, and how when we unlock the waters and we get in touch with the power within us, from an emotional and physical and sensual and sexual and orgasmic and just watery power of what's within us, how this will change the world, right? And so she and I were just like, oh my God, sister, like we were just like sisters from another mister. We fell madly in love. She'd been feeling like she's been crazy. I've been feeling like I've been crazy. Together, we're like, you know what? We're not crazy. We're just bold. And we see these visions, and we are committed to bringing these visions forth. And just by getting connected, we activated each other, and on such profound ways. So that was amazing. So I'm like, oh my God, huge breadcrumb. I would land randomly at this house of this water bearer guy with this water company who's dating this water priestess who's an Amrita priestess sister. I was like, what in the world? This is amazing. While I'm also going to be supporting Lori Opal, who's here in this collective. She's having a beautiful event up in San Francisco and Berkeley area come next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, May 11th. So, I'll post a link to that as well. Check her out if you're in the area. Definitely attend her event. I'm not going to be there live after all. I'm just going to be sharing some of my wisdom through an interview that she's going to record for the women who attend. But all this Amrita energy is like coming forth, and I land at the Amrita priestess house right before I'm about to go in and do this deep body somatic work. I was like, okay, this is the kind of stuff I've been talking about. This is like, I call it the Da Vinci Code of pussy. Like, as soon as I open up to my next yes, a big nod from the universe shows up and says, keep going, keep going. And when I'm in my constriction, things get all wonky and they stop, literally the flow stops, which is some of the stuff I'll be talking about in my course. And so I go into the Vipassana. It was profound. I learned a technique that helped me understand the last piece that I was missing that had maybe had me just hold back from wanting to actually teach this, which I'm excited to share. It's a somatic piece and a certain part of our body and how we can activate it more. For those of you that have not fully been able to open up and unlock your sacred waters, which be my honor to help you and support you and to create a new paradigm for you to do so if that's something you want to explore and experiment with. And so then I come back out of the Vipassana and we go into 4 days of this Earth Nation Mastermind. And I was very clear going in that whatever we're going to create from this Earth Nation Mastermind, whatever seeds we plant, whatever co-creations come from all of these amazing visionary entrepreneurs coming together to do this 10-day experience followed by 4 days of master heart minding, as he called it, that we needed to water the seeds with Amrita. Of course, like what else would we do? Gotta water the seeds with Amrita. So I get to the house. It's a bit chaotic. You know, we go in, they have a very specific agenda. We come out of this amazing body stuff. We're still doing the body stuff, but then we're like deep in our heads, like, you know, changing the world. And it was an interesting transition, but I was like, I know that there's going to be, I don't know how or when or what's going to happen, but I know there's going to be a time where we're going to bring forth the waters and do some sort of sacred ritual. And the women kept asking me, like they'd hear a little bit here, I'd share here and there what I was up to, and we're getting to know each other. And the women were asking me, can we gather? Can we do these rituals? I want to know more. Please, you know, share your wisdom with me. It was really beautiful. It was really wonderful to just be recognized and honored and invited into so many of these women's stories and experiences, and for them to request more connecting. So by the final day of the mastermind, I was clear that it was time to actually gather the women. It wasn't on the agenda. I had to usurp literally the agenda of the organization and the organizer. Day one, sorry, this is a very important detail. Day one starts and there's some upset in the field of the organization and the team leaders. And the main founder had some stuff that was coming up, and the team wanted to support the healing of that because they didn't feel comfortable moving forward with what was on the agenda if it didn't clear up what was going on for the organizer of Earth Nation. So funny enough, the organizer invites me into a team meeting with my beloved Rano. And I'm like, why am I part of this team meeting? I'm not really deep in this organization yet. And so I join in, and turns out the biggest thing that's up is this particular, the brains behind this operation is dealing with some massive mother wound issues. And as a result is not being fully in integrity with his energy around women because of a wound that he had been experiencing for a long time with some abandonment that had happened to him with his mother. So there I was in the midst of this deep, profound healing with the core organizers and the founders of Earth Nation, and I'm helping them, proxying as his mother to heal this mother wound. It was intense and powerful and profound. And along the way, I'm thinking, okay, this is interesting because my mom, who I lost, and I had to heal an abandonment wound. She died when I was 24, and I also had some other wounds when I was younger that I have healed and have been working on healing. Maybe I think I've healed it for many, 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 many years. My mom's name is Charlotte. This guy's mother's name was Charlie. And then there was a mother that was present in the organization who was a mother of a woman who recently died 3 months ago. She died instantly in a car accident, just totally random. Totally, it was like she was plucked out of this physical 3D world and moved into spirit world. And she'd been a huge part of the foundational creation of Earth Nation. And she was a beautiful soul. I got to meet her very briefly at an event back in September, and she died, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So suddenly, but I know that she's needed over in the spirit world. Like it was so clear, like, oh, you got to come over here to help create this new earth. So her presence was known, and her mom, so beautifully, was there to basically help her daughter's legacy, to like contribute. She's retired, she's a former teacher, and she's like, whatever my daughter was up to, I'm here to complete the legacy, which was so powerful because, often we see, like for me, I feel like I've wanted to complete my mom's legacy. My mom died, I'm still here. And, and this woman is here to complete her daughter's legacy. It was so beautiful. Well, her name happens to be Charlene. So we have my mom, Charlotte, the organizer's name, Charlie, and this mother, Charlene. And I'm thinking, that's interesting. There's some real healing of a mother lineage here that's happening that I'm privy to. My healing, the organization of Earth Nation's healing, the healing of this mother and her loss of her daughter, and it was just something really profound. That was on day one. And I'm part of this, I'm thinking, what is it? There was like, what's the Char? Like each Charlie, Charlotte, Charlene. I'm like, okay, there's something to do with Char. But I couldn't quite figure out what that was. So, but I'm like, something's up, right? We got these women, we got the Amrita, we got the Earth Nation, we got the healing of the divine feminine, we got all these heady minds trying to create the new world. I'm like, okay, something is brewing here. I'm just going to be a steward, hold the space for the divine goddess to show herself when it's ready. I'm not going to try to insert anything. I'm just going to allow. By day three of the, or fourth day of the mastermind rather, it was clear. It was time to gather the women. Some things happened that made me clear, but for the sake of the length of this video, thanks for being here. Erin, thanks for being here. Andrea, and I don't pronounce your name. Ain, Grace, so grateful to have you here, and anybody else that's watching this later. So, to sum up the story, so I'm like, what is this thing with Char, and this mother lineage, and this Amrita, and this planting of the new earth seeds? By day four, the women are like, I'm like, okay, it's clear. I'm going to trump this whole agenda, and we're going to gather the women, because unless the women feel heard and connected, whatever agendas and things we put forth are going to be half the power and potency of what they could be if the women don't gather. And I know that to be true. And it was requested. And so I said, pause the agenda. I'm gathering the women. And I had asked Dakota a couple days before if she would be willing, because she's the only one that had a private bedroom because it was her house, if she'd be willing to collect her own sacred waters, her Amrita, for the sake of this ritual I kept envisioning. And she did. She had that vision, she actually had an opportunity to do so. I did not. I attempted to do it the first day. I was in a room with other people trying to I was like, my body does not work well under pressure. I was not able to extract my own Amrita. And I wanted to add some to the mix, but it wasn't in the cards. But it didn't matter because she extracted her Amrita. She had collected some. And the night before this woman's ritual, it was a really beautiful night. Everybody was kind of celebrating. And she came and she told me that she had collected the waters. And another woman that was there said, I want to see it. So we go up to her room, and the three of us are sitting around this chalice of her sacred waters in her beautiful, her whole palace is just set up to be such a water priestess palace with fountains and just gorgeous lace and just so divine and beautiful and yummy. And we're sitting around holding the space for this beautiful nectar that is in this cup that we know is now going to water the seeds. It's the night before the circle, jumping around a little bit. Bear with me, ladies. I'm so excited. And I'm so I haven't talked for 10 days, so I'm also like, so we're sitting around this cup, and we're all holding the space, and we're just discussing. And at one point, this other woman, who's been such a channel, she's been feeling the field, and along the way she pops this powerful information. She's been a little powerful little side player along the story. She says, she starts breathing, and she was like, oh, we are the currency. We are the currency. Our bodies are the currency. And she just starts channeling this information and I'm like, that's exactly it. So we're holding this cup of Amrita, and she's feeling and seeing and experiencing the potency of us and our bodies as the true currency, right? And again, if you watch some of my videos, you kind of get some of the pieces of this puzzle about where the new earth is going in the realm of flow, currency, money, just abundant, just the whole thing. So she starts channeling that message, and I'm like, she gets it. Here she is with the cup of Amrita. She's never ejaculated in her life, and she's getting this message coming through her, just being in the presence of this sacred water. And I'm like, that's exactly it. We are the currency. We have put so much power outside of ourselves that we have lost touch with the true power, the true wealth frequency within our own bodies, which is also part of the activation of our sacred waters to call forth these waters to heal the earth, to open up the floodgates, quite literally, of all of this divine feminine flow that has been locked up and locked behind literally this veil of patriarchy, or there's probably a better word for it, but just all of these old, outdated mindsets and ways of being and beliefs that have us literally enslaved to something that's even a false illusion. I'm just gonna breathe for a second and just feel all that. So the next day we gather the women, we bring the cup, we share some of the story, we share the possibility, we share the visions I've been having, we share the visions Dakota's been having. There was a lot up in the space. We had a very short time to actually host this circle because there was an agenda needing to get done. But we did our best to hold as much space as we could to heal anything that was missing from any woman there moving forward with the Earth Nation projects and agendas and whatnot. And it felt very important to voice it. And so we blessed that water and we healed some stuff in the room. Some things came forward, some things about our voice, things about money and where we've been cut off from our own flow because of a false illusion. Some things about sisterhood, healing the sisterhood, some things about women feeling okay to express their sexuality and not be judged by other women. There was like a lot that came forward in this very short amount of time that we had to gather. And all of that got thrown into the cauldron and uplifted by the waters. And by the end of the evening, we had invited everybody there to put their intentions from the Earth Nation Master Mind, Master Heart Mind, into a bowl. And over the last yesterday and then completing today is Beltane, which is a beautiful sacred, pagan ritual, which actually Erin Delaney posted something in another thread I'm part of. It talked about the maypole being symbolic of the phallus, and then the womb and the vagina and the pussy encapsulating and holding that. So that's really potent. So I got to do a little bit more research on Beltane, but it feels really potent that this is all coming into its full purpose. So today and yesterday, she started the ritual yesterday, Dakota, with her Amrita and this bowl filled with everybody's desires and seeds of dreams for the Earth Nation and the new Earth. And she created a ritual where she literally took her Amrita, blessed by all of us, and watered the seeds. And she's completing the ritual today. Probably by now it's done because they're 3 hours behind in Hawaii, and she's going to send some documentation and whatnot of this actual ritual. So it feels just so right on target for whatever is happening. It feels like all of my dreams and knowings and potency around this context and this content and this information around Amrita have been coming into like full form, especially in the last 2 weeks with this experience. And I can't wait to share more with you. Like this course that I'm offering, it starts on the 14th. It's not about technique. You don't need a partner. It's about learning about our bodies as women and learning what's possible and learning what we're capable of and allowing ourselves to enter into full surrender. So there's so much I can say, and there's so many misnomers out there about what female ejaculation is. Even just the word female ejaculation. It's actually not at all like ejaculate that men come out with, and it's been put in the same category as men, and it's something completely different. And while their ejaculate is sacred, it is the seed of life, there's something profoundly sacred about the alchemy within us to produce these waters that is literally nectar. And there's all this history of how this nectar has been used for healing and rituals and whatnot. And I just can't wait to share what I know. So if you're curious, if you just want to know, definitely sign up for the course. I'm going to be offering a 2-for-1 special. So bring a girlfriend, do it together. It's only a $99 course. It's 2 2-hour blocks. So, if you buy the course, it's only $99 too. So if you buy the course and you email me your friend's info and email, and you two can split it, it's $44.50 each. So it's less than $50 each. I invite you to do so. The more the merrier. Let's awaken and unlock our waters together. I'm so excited for this maiden voyage. Literally, we're going to set sail on the rivers of Amrita to heal and awaken ourselves, and in doing so, thus the planet and the new systems that are wanting to be birthed and are birthing and actually have been birthed on this planet. So if that's exciting to you, come join us. SierraJSullivan.com/sacred waters is the link. And again, I'll post it below with some other links, Kipasana Earth Nation and Dakota Chanel's site. And I love you, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to share more. And I'm going to be back on my MoonDay Musings, hopefully on schedule, 3:33 p.m. Pacific every Monday, to share more of the beginning of this whole story. And if you're curious and you want to get some fun story time and learn about the magic and the mystery of all of this pussy power and sacred fluids and, oh yeah, last piece, I totally forgot. When we did the women's circle, I was like, what's the shar, the shar, the shar, the shar? Well, 2 years ago when I was initiated into my pussy priestess, essentially, pussy reclamation ritual, and this whole level of deepening my work with women, I met a man who unearthed a like very old text. I don't know how many thousands of years old that this like sacred script has been, but he had been missing for 800 years because when I think the Muslims took over the Hindu temples and something and this history and all these lost, texts, these texts got lost in the shuffle of all of that. And he found it, and it was a very magical story. He happens to be a Hindu scholar, and he translated this information, and he told me about this sacred text, and it's literally, and I have a scroll right in the drawer over there that I've been holding, and it's been sitting in a drawer with sacred Amrita for a long time, and all sorts of fun mojo-y stuff. This text is called The 1,000 Names of Sharada. So there's the Shar. And this 1,000 names of Sharada, right? Charlotte, Charlie, Charlene, Sharada. I'm like getting chills, right? This goddess and this whole script is about the sacred fluids healing the planet. And one of the things that this goddess holds, she holds many things, a bow and arrow and this and the bell, and she's holding a sacred vessel of Amrita. It's one of her power tools, power totems, or whatever, power tools. It is a power tool. Sometimes you need a power tool to get it out. No, more on that later. Anyways, so I forgot about that part, but it was like, wow, like bing, 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 all of these pieces falling into place. And we're still decoding them with the help of Dakota, and Dakota, who also runs Earth Nation. I had 2 Dakotas, the masculine and the feminine, being represented, channeling this information. So I'm just like, wow, 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 wow. So, wow. Okay, that's all I got for today, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you got. Thanks for sticking around. Love to you all. More to be revealed soon. Mwah. Lots of love. Take care, everybody. Ciao.